Hello everybody, my name is Dese. I'm 23 years old and I'm the pre-army program coordinator in the Netivim program. So my family is originally from the northwest part of Ethiopia, from a small village called Buchara, which is 3 hours walk from Gondar, the big city, and most of the Ethiopian population, the Jewish Ethiopian population came from Gondar in the area. And when I asked my parents where is Buchara, our village, they say 3 hours walk. They didn't have another way to describe it. In my family, we are 9 brothers and sisters. My father used to be a shepherd, and he was a farmer as well. They grew corn and chickpeas and teff, which is an Ethiopian wheat. They made it, by the teff they made the injera, which is the traditional food. And he had flocks of sheep and goats and bulls. And my mother was a housewife. She raised us. She had 9 of us, so yeah, good job. In 1996, we made Aliyah. My parents were Jewish, few generations, and they have the traditions, and the whole society, the village itself was a Jewish. They had a synagogue. They had the whole tradition things, and they were waiting for the Aliyah, the whole society. And in 1996, they had the opportunity to come to Israel after a few months in an absorption center next to Dese Bazunech, the capital city of Ethiopia. And after 6 months, we made an Aliyah. And right after we get to Israel, my family and I went to an absorption center called Chatzot Yasaf, 20 minutes away from Haifa. Today, when I ask my parents about the Aliyah, and they say that this is a very important move they made in their life. They are very grateful about the fact that they had the opportunity to come to Israel and to make the dream come true in their generation. At the age of 6, I moved to Haifa with all of my family, and I lived in Haifa for 17 years already. In Haifa, I had my whole growing process. I had become to a kid and then to a teen, and now I'm trying to make myself a man. It's not working. As a teen, I went to Eloni Hay. I guess that many of you know this school. I remember myself as an average student. It didn't went well. Went too good, but it was that bad. I didn't find myself socially and educationally was fine. So in the 8th grade, I joined to the Scout. There is a Scout troop in Never Yosef. I live next to in the east of Haifa. So in Never Yosef there was a Scout troop. I joined there at the 8th grade. And I remember the first time I went there and I didn't realize what's going on, and there's a lot of kids that are going, they had those uniforms. I didn't realize what's the deal about it. And after a few times I actually really liked it, and I never missed an activity or meeting. I went to all of them, and everything was actually really good. And right before I get recruited to the army, I realized that there is something missing. I just finished my high school. I was supposed to go to the army like everyone else. But I felt that there is something missing for me to complete the whole picture. So I decided to go to volunteer for a gap year, which we call it Shnat Sharut, a year kind of volunteer services, community services. All around the country we have it, and I went to next to Tiberia, a place called Menachamia. And I worked there with teenagers. And this year was very unique because you have yourself and few members that live with you in the same house. You have your independence to do whatever. You can wake up whenever you want. You can do whatever you like. but you need to make your own discipline to wake up at time, to go to school, to volunteer with the kids, to have all of the activities. And for me, it was very meaningful year. I learned a lot about how people think, how people work, how I myself think and work. I developed my independence in this year, and I'm very happy about it. Me and my friends, we had two decisions through our life that we made. The first one was earlier at the age of 10 or 12, that we want to be different, that our the older group of us, every time we look at them, we will say we want to be different, we want to do it in other way. This was the first one. The second one was together with Ellie, that we're going to do the best that we can in the army, because we realized that if we will learn how to word hark in the army, it's gonna be a life changer. So after the Shnat Sharut, I get recruited to this unit, which is some say that it's one of the unit. Some would say that. And for me, it's really the unit, because I learned a lot about myself in the unit. The service was really satisfying. I find myself in the limit a few times, and each and every time I learned how to stood up and to keep going, although it might seem impossible. And the friends that I served with for me now, they're like friends for life. I can call them anytime. I can talk with them about everything. We had the same experiences. We deal with the same challenges through the army. We had the same success feeling when we had it, which the commander tried to not to show the success stories of ourselves, because he wanted us to feel that we're not good enough all the time. And the army really make me kind of knew me. Now I have my self-confidence that I learned in the army, the sense of capability, and I really feel that I can do basically everything I want, including this conversation. After two and a half years in the army, I happened to meet Danit this way. And she told me about Netivim, and that she wanted me to give her advices how to, which program she should open, and what can prepare the kids the best to do a meaningful service in the army. And after a few talks and few meetings, I decided that I want to work for Netivim. That
I didn't need any IDs. I was looking for a coordinator.
Work at a different special unit.
I decided that I want to work for Netivim, and it was about a year and a half before I was supposed to finish my army, because my unit we do 4 years, and I was after 2.5. So one day I came into my commander office and I told him, I have bad news and new news, and good news. And he was like, what's the bad, what's the new? I said, the bad news are that I want to finish my army after 3 years, not after 4. And he was surprised, and then he asked me, what's the new? What's the good? What's the good? And I told him that I want to work with Ethiopian youth in my city, and to help them with the process for the army. And you say, okay, you have my permission, you can leave the army. And then I called Danit.
The rest is history.
Yes. Every Ethiopian youth in Israel deal with while teenager. The first one is the gap between the parents that grew up in Ethiopia, primitive country, to the kids that was raised in Israel, a modern and a modern country, and we can see it by the language. The parents, most of them, don't speak Hebrew. Most of the parents didn't get integrated to the society, and the kids did. So when I was teenager and I went back home from school, when I was trying to speak with my parents, it was very difficult because I barely speak Amharic, although today I speak fluently, but I could barely speak Amharic. My parents barely could speak Hebrew, and we don't have a common language to talk with each other. And I couldn't share with them most of the things I experienced, only the basic things that I could speak with Amharic and they could tell me in Hebrew. And this is a very problematic situation because the kids cannot share with the parents what they experience. They cannot tell them what they need. They cannot tell them what they want. And the parents can help them, cannot support them with those things. So it takes the teenagers away from parents and get them closer to their friends, because the friends have a common language. The second one is the Ethiopian population in Israel. Most of them live in, I don't want to say ghettos because it's not true, but neighborhoods. Which the neighborhoods have around 30% of Ethiopian. So the Ethiopian kids will go and play and spend their time with other Ethiopian kids. So most of the time they spend with only Ethiopian community at home, outside, at the community center. So they don't get themselves don't get integrated with other non-Ethiopian population in Israel. And the third one, that once they go to high school, which is in my in my graded school, we have 250 kids, and we were about 15 Ethiopians. So when you get to this high school, where there's a lot of new kids, and you were in the elementary school with the same Ethiopian kids. So when you get to the high school, you don't go and integrate with the new kids because you have your own safe zone with your friends. So you don't have the safe zone at home. You don't have the safe zone at school, and the only place that you feel safe is with your friends in the neighborhood. In Netivim, we have a lot of places that we work all over Haifa, in the west of Haifa, the east, and in Kiryat Chaim. We had the Harai Association in Israel that I work for, that have 4 groups in Haifa, 3 for the 11 and 12 grade, and 1 for the 9th and 10th. We have Nirim that works for Bet Magal, which is a place for
warm house for girls.
Home house for girls at risk youth. And we go through the high schools that teach about the army, values about the army service. We have we work with community centers, with Bet Magenza, Matnas Neve Yosef, Bet Reslev, Matnas Neve David.
These are youth centers all over Haifa that we cooperate in order to target the kids that we can direct to different preparation for service groups.
We have the parents group that we understood that if the parents can support them because the language gap, so we can open a group for the parents in Amharic that explain about the army. So when the kids will come back from the army, they will feel comfortable to talk with the parents, and the parents will understand them. And Steve went with us to Gerard based when the parents did the Gatna Day, which is like the boot camp for 1 day. So Steve,
I could make it one comment. The difference in the expression on their faces between the morning and afternoon and how proud they seemed at the end of the day was just phenomenal, and how nervous they were at the very beginning of the day.
So this is today what we do in Netivim.